Hello. So good to meet you at our global motivational meeting. We are reading World Scriptures book. These God's words that empower billions of people, families, communities, countries, and the whole world. And will help you to just read these quotes and practice in your daily life. Think about them, that God will give you tips how to live a happy life and prosperous future. As we're reading this holy book from the beginning, please find all the chapters at our Message to Billion channel. Now, as we're reading about societies, let's see this analyze further and see what God prepared for us today: globalization and the equalization of capital. We have got the solidarity which bands all men together as members of a common family, make it impossible for wealthy nations to look with indifference upon the hunger, misery, poverty of other nations whose citizens are unable to enjoy even elementary human rights. The nations of the world are becoming more and more dependent on one another, and it will not be possible to preserve lasting peace so long as glaring economic and social imbalance persists. Justice and humanity demands that those countries which produce consumer goods, especially farm products, in excess of their own needs, should come to the assistance of those other countries where large sections of the population are suffering from want and hunger. It is nothing less than outrage to justice and humanity to destroy or to squander goods that the other people need for their very lives. Of itself, however, emergency aid will not go far in relieving want and famine, when these are causes, as they so often are, by the primitive state of nations' economy. The only permanent remedy for this is to make use of every possible means of providing these citizens with the scientific, technical, and professional training they need, and to put at their disposal the necessary capital for speeding up the economic development with the help of modern methods. The developing nations obviously have certain unmistakable characteristics of their own, time-honored traditions and customs, and helping these nations, therefore, the more advanced communities must recognize and respect this individually. They must be aware of making the assistance they give an exclusive for forcing these people into their own national mold. There is also a further temptation which the economical developing nations must resist, that of giving technical and financial aid with a view to gaining control of the political situation in the poorer countries. A new form of colonialism cleverly disguised, just not doubt, but actually reflecting that the older, outdated type from which many nations have recently emerged. Such action would, moreover, have a harmful impact on international relations and constitute a menace to world peace. Necessity, therefore, and justice demand that all such technical and financial aid be given without thought of domination, but rather for the purpose of helping the less developed nations to achieve their own economic and social growth. Another quote: trade relations can no longer be based solely on the principle of free and unchecked competition, for it very often created an economic dictatorship. Free trade can be called just only when it conforms to the demands of social justice. Competition should not be eliminated from trade transactions, but it must be kept within limits so that it operates justly and fairly, and thus economy is a truly human endeavor. Now, in trade relations between the developing and highly developed economies, there is a great disparity in their overall situation and in their freedom of action, and whether that international trade be human and moral. Social justice requires that it restore to the participants a certain equality of opportunity. International agreements on broad scale could establish general norms for regulating prices, promoting production facilities, and favoring certain infant industries. Isn't it a plan to everyone that such attempts to establish greater justice in international trade would be a great benefit to the developing nation, and that they would produce lasting results? Further, let's read quotes from the second Messiah, Father San Mahmoud. Advanced countries have lots of money, but whose is it? It is God's. Whose is the power? It is God's. Who is the knowledge? It is God as well. God is the parent of humankind. Therefore, everything that belongs to God, material power, knowledge, and such belongs to humankind. For this purpose, democracy appeared in modern days, and democracy sovereignty belongs to the people, to all humankind. That is why it is believed that sovereignty should be under control of the people. Yet in reality, it is in the hands of conglomerates. At the present time, America is wealthy, but she alone should not be wealthy. She should distribute their wealth among other nations. That is the heavenly way. America must aid other nations financially, otherwise she cannot continue being wealthy. What belongs to America does not belong to America alone, but belong to the world. How did America become a nation that is respected throughout the world? It is because after World War II, she financially helped all the enemy nation that she had defeated. Since she gave it on behalf of God, her position was elevated. Yet when she reduced her giving, her position gradually declined. When a famine occurs in one part of the world, then the parts of the world where food is abundant should rush more food into the hungry areas. We have to build this kind of world. Presently, 20 million people are dying of starvation every year, while America is wasting too much food. This is a violation of the universal law. A nation that promotes only its own interest will perish. A nation that exploits other nations, using them as a foothold for its own prosperity, will perish in the end. The reason why America is being accused is because after they provide other nations with some financial aid, she attempts to make money off of them. When offering aid to less fortunate nations, America should offer it with their parental heart, shedding tears for them and taking the role of a servant. When giving to those unfortunates who have shed many tears, she should also shed many tears for them. America should not look down on them from the height of authority and power as she does now. Otherwise, her giving will only form rebellion and discontent. The first to shed the tears should be the donor, not the recipient. Why? The donor is in the position of a parent. Therefore, when the donor offers aid, she should do so with tears. If she gives while belittling the recipients, she will perish. Nevertheless, there is no excuse for the Republic of Korea to say, well, America, you are bragging that you used to provide us with financial aid. Someday we will teach you a lesson. We can never have world peace until those nations which have been blessed with material and technological advantages willingly share them with the other nations of the world. The blessing of science and technology are means for all humankind, and they should be shared. Every nation should have an equal chance to utilize technology for the people well-being, just as nations athletes should enjoy high-quality coaching and ultimately compete on a level playing field. Otherwise, the advantaged nations will be resented and hated by those who are deprived. The unification movement is committed to helping them share the blessing of technology with all nations and to helping developing nations establish their own industrial base as the key to economic independence. In this world, poverty is rampant. Hunger and poverty are deep-seated problems. Religious believers have a serious responsibility to deal with this situation. Over the past 20 years or so, I have been endeavoring to develop the resources of the ocean, personally fishing and investing substantial amounts of funds. As a result, I succeeded in inventing high potency protein powder, a nutritional supplement for health that is being effectively distributed to Africa and other parts of the world. In order to eliminate the tragedy of starvation on the earth, I am putting my resolution into practice. I understand that all religions should unite and cooperate with one another in producing foods through agricultural development and ocean industries to help underdeveloped countries. If religions lead the way in practicing true love through the investment of human resources and materials, I believe it will be a great hope to the world. The US administration insists that all trade barriers should be dismantled, then excessive farm products should be free to go to any country and be sold at the market price. This is known as the Uruguay round. It calls for the poor countries with the subsistence agriculture to open up their gates and be flooded with the farm products from wealthy nations. However, I'm suggesting that like farm products, the population of the world should be allowed to flow back and forth anywhere it wants to go. That is, all national boundaries should be dismantled. So powerful quotes for today. If you have difficulties, please watch one more time this video, share this video as we end this video, and happy life, subscribe this marathon. Contact me for consultation, cooperation, and become a member of this Heavenly Parents Holy Community globally. Receive Heavenly Kingdom citizenship right now. The contact is below, and see you tomorrow with more powerful quotes. Stay happy, healthy. Till then, pray for you, and till tomorrow, turn on suggestion playlist. Choose the best one for you. And listen God's word. Stay blessed all the day. Bye-bye. Yours, Nicolae.